Welcome everybody to a brand new section, and in this section what I would like to do is revisit the browse page. Specifically, I want to revisit exactly how we're fetching the data for these cards. Now what we are doing is we're making an HTTP request to our server at the /movies/list endpoint, and what we're doing is we're getting back every movie as well as TV show that is within our application, and then we're iterating over it and rendering these cards. Now this is great if you only have a few TV shows or movies. However, if you have a bunch, like for example Netflix, they have 4,000 movies as well as 2,000 TV shows, this could get problematic. We do not want to fetch every single movie and every single TV show at once and then render it onto the screen. So let's just go over here and kind of illustrate exactly what's going on. So we have our browser, and what we're doing is as soon as we go to the browse page, we make a request to our server returns back to us all of the different movies. Now in this case we only have 18 movies. That's fine, that's great, there's no issue. However, as our application scales and scales, let's say we have thousands of movies, with the current approach, what we would do is we would go ahead and make a request to the server, and the server would return back to us all 1,000 of those movies, and then we would render them onto the screen. Now the question is this a good approach? Well, it was kind of a rhetorical question. The answer is no. It is not a good approach. Why is that? Well, for one, it is incredibly slow. Very, very slow. What we're now doing is we're asking for every single piece of data within our application, and that's going to cause a lot of processing power for our server. Our server has to traverse all the data, it has to get it, it has to manipulate it and send it back to the client. So it's going to be a lot slower, and it's going to lead to poorer user experiences. Another thing that could happen, or another thing that will happen, is that it's going to be expensive. You are now putting more load on your servers, and because of that you're going to be paying more for those usages. So it's going to be expensive, and also it's kind of pointless. So what do I mean by that? Well, why in the world do we want to fetch all 1,000 movies, all 1,000 TV shows, and send them back to the client? There is absolutely no way the user is going to go ahead and take a look at every single one. And there's really no way that, there's no point of showing it to them because they can't see it all at once. So it's slow, it's expensive, and pointless. So what's an alternative if we have tons and tons of data in our database? Well, this is what we do. We have the user ask for the data. So as soon as they go onto the screen, what we can do is we can give them maybe the first 20 movies. And then if they want to see the next 20 movies, the user has to ask for that. So we go ahead and make another request, and then we fetch another 20. We go ahead and return that back to the user. And this is known as pagination, and it's an extremely important concept. Now there's two main ways that we can implement pagination within our application. We're going to go ahead and explore that in the next video.